In this episode of 10 Best Ones, we are going to check out the top 5 best Xiaomi phones in 2018. I made this list based on my personal opinion, and I tried to list them based on their price, quality, durability and more. If you want to see the price and find out more information about these Xiaomi phones, you can check out the links down in the description and the comment section below. Okay, so, let's get started with the video. At number 5, we have the Xiaomi Redmi 4X. The Xiaomi 4X is a budget-oriented smartphone that doesn't look cheap, nor performs like a budget one, but exactly the opposite, so let's get into action, and find out what's so special about this smartphone. From a design perspective, the 4X is available in multiple colors, but we've chosen the champagne gold due to the fact that it looks luxurious. However, this doesn't mean that the other versions do not look great, since all of them share the same functionalities. This particular features an anodized aluminum construction that packs a handsome metal frame, and a good-looking back enclosure, which according to the manufacturer, has gone through a diamond cutting process, which adds an even more beauty to the smartphone. At the front, you will instantly recognize the shiny 5-inch screen that looks as good as it performs, while slightly above, at the top, there is a 5-megapixel f2.2 camera, which is quality enough to help you take beautiful selfies. At the bottom, there are 3 touch buttons, while beneath them, there is a USB port that sits next to the speakers, so I have to admit that this smartphone looks premium. At the top left corner, on the back, there is a LED flash, and a 13-megapixel camera, which according to the users, can capture beautiful, and accurate photos. Now, let's talk about the features. This particular model uses an octa-core 1.4 GHz Cortex-A53 processor, has 3 GB of RAM, 32 GB of storage space, which can be furtherly expanded by using an SD card, and it uses the Android 6.0.1 Marshmallow OS, but you can expand it to 7.1.2. These specs are fantastic for its price tag, since you will have enough room to store everything you want. Moreover, the 5-inch IPS touchscreen screen has an aspect ratio of 16:9, while its maximum resolution is 720 by 1280 pixels, with a 294 pixels per inch, so the visuals will be wonderful. I would also want to mention that this unit has a non-removable, 4100 mAh battery, that can last up to 80 hours, but this is not fixed, since everything would depend on your usage. Overall, the Xiaomi 4X is a great option, if you're looking for a quality smartphone that wouldn't cost you a fortune. Moving on, at number 4, we have the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus. The Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus is a true example of what does a bang for the buck means, due to the fact that this unit combines 4 GB of RAM, 64 GB of storage space, beautiful screen, and 2 quality cameras that will help you capture wonderful photos. From a design perspective, the Redmi Plus is available in 5 colors, where all of them share the same specs, and only differ at the color, so regardless of your choice, you're going to absolutely love this smartphone. Moving on, this model has a sleek, aluminum frame that is present across the entire structure, a 2.5D glass that is spread across the front part of the body, and a highly responsive fingerprint scanner that is located at the back. At the top, positioned at the left corner, there is a 5-megapixel camera, while on the side, you will see 2 dedicated buttons, such as the power and the volume keys. At the bottom, there is a microphone, a charging port, and the speaker, while if you flip the smartphone over, you will notice a 12-megapixel camera that sits above the flashlight. But now, let's talk about the performance. This model has a large, 5.99-inch IPS capacitive touchscreen that combines a resolution of 1080 by 2160 pixels, an aspect ratio of 18:9, with 403 pixels per inch, which means that you will see consistent colors even from wide viewing angles. When it comes to the hardware, the Redmi 5 Plus integrates an octa-core 2.0 GHz processor, 4 GB of RAM, a hybrid dual SIM system, and 64 GB of RAM, so as you can see, for the price, this is more than good, since you will have enough room for all of your important files and apps. I would also want to inform you that this unit runs on the Android 7.1.2 Nougat, which has many interesting features of which you can take an advantage. Finally, the large 4000 mAh battery can last throughout your day, but as you know, if you're using many apps at once, the battery would drain faster. To conclude, you should definitely consider the Xiaomi Redmi 5 Plus as your next purchase because it offers a great value for its cost. Next stop, at number 3, we have the Xiaomi Mi A1. The Mi A1 is yet another Xiaomi smartphone that offers a great value for its price tag, but this is nothing to be surprised of, since this company is expanding the borders of what does a value for the price means. From a design perspective, the Mi A1 comes in different color editions, but one thing is certain, and that's the fact that they share the same powerful specs, so the color is the only thing where they differ. For example, the black-colored one, which we have chosen, was crafted with an aluminum, while across the entire front part, you can notice the beautiful 5.5-inch screen, which has a sizable bezel at the top and at the bottom. On the top bezel, there is the 5-megapixel camera, while below the bottom bezel, there are 3 touch buttons that will help you have an easy navigation with the entire smartphone. The connectivities include a USB Type-C port, 3.5mm jack, a single loudspeaker, and a nano dual SIM tray. The rear part of the smartphone is indeed beautiful, due to the fact that it has a dual 12-megapixel camera system, with a LED flash that is located at the top left corner, while slightly below, you can see the presence of a circular, fingerprint scanner, which is surely a great addition, since you wouldn't have to remember passwords. Now, let's talk about the features. The Mi A1 has an interesting hardware, that is based on the Snapdragon 625 chipset, and has an octa-core 2.0 GHz processor, 4 GB of RAM, as well as 64 GB of storage space, so you shouldn't worry about anything. Moreover, the 5.5-inch IPS LCD capacitive touchscreen has an aspect ratio of 16:9, can output up to 16 million color, has a maximum resolution of 1080 by 1920 pixels, and it is protected by a Corning Gorilla Glass 3, so in terms of quality and durability, I can't find any remark. The battery life is tremendously good. Some users claim that it can last almost 2 days on a single charge, when it is not under heavy load, but of course, this may vary if you're playing games, watching videos and similar things. Overall, the Xiaomi Mi A1 is a really attractive option, because it has fantastic specs, for an extremely affordable price. Moving on, at number 2, we have the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2. The Xiaomi Mi Mix 2 is a quality, mid-range smartphone that combines a beautiful look, large memory space, and a long battery life, so if you find these things interesting, then let's start right away in order to find out why have we listed this smartphone in the first place. From a design perspective, the Mi Mix 2 sports a scratch-proof ceramic back, a Gorilla Glass 4 that is spread across the front part of the body, which will drastically protect the unit from any accidental dropout, and metal edges, so I have to admit that, this smartphone does not only look good, but it is unbelievably durable. At the front, the first thing you will notice is the large, 5.99-inch almost bezel-less display, which I particularly like, due to the fact that, the borders around the screen are extremely minimized, so I think that you will also love it. A really interesting thing about this smartphone is that the front-facing 5-megapixel camera is positioned at the bottom bezel, instead of the usual top position, while if you flip the phone over, you will see a 12-megapixel camera, with dual LED flash, that are positioned close to the center. In addition, slightly below, there is a fingerprint scanner as well, so until now, I can't find any remarks regarding the design. But now, let's talk about the performance. The 5.99-inch IPS display is maybe one of the best things that this phone possesses, due to the fact that it has an aspect ratio of 18:9, a maximum resolution of 1080 by 2160, it can produce up to 16 million colors, and has a pixel density of 403 pixels per inch, which is awesome. Moreover, the hardware is indeed powerful, or to be more precise, this particular model has 64 GB of storage space, 6 GB of RAM, dual SIMs, and it uses an octa-core processor, so everything will be running fast. I would also like to mention two things. The first is that the Mi Mix 2 has a durable battery that supports the Quick Charge 3.0, so you will be fully supported throughout the day. To conclude, I strongly recommend you consider the Mi Mix 2 as your next purchase, because you will never be disappointed by the smartphone. And finally, at number 1, we have the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2s. If you've liked the model that we've previously mentioned, then the Mi Mix 2s would be an even greater option, because it is a truly wonderful flagship that can compete with the toughest competitors on the market. From a design perspective, the Mix 2S looks terrific, regardless if you choose its white or black color edition, due to the fact that both of them have sleek ceramic back curves that sit nicely to the phone's backquote construction. The front part looks nearly identical to its predecessor the Mix 2S, since both of the models have an edge-to-edge screen that looks gorgeous. In addition, at the bottom edge, you can find a single speaker, a USB-C port, as well as 5-megapixel camera, which is innovative, since most of the cameras are set at the top. At the back, on the far left side, you will see dual 12-megapixel cameras, with a flashlight, while close to them, there is a fingerprint scanner, so if you see the smartphone as a whole, it has a really handsome look. Now, let's talk about the features. His particular model packs an octa-core processor, 6GB of RAM, 64GB of internal storage, and runs on the Android 8.0 Oreo, which has really interesting features, so in terms of the performance, users claim that runs quickly and smoothly. Moving on, the 5.99-inch IPS screen displays up to 16 million colors, has an aspect ratio of 16:9, maximum resolution of 1080 by 2160, and the most important part, it is protected by a Corning Gorilla Glass 4, which means that it will serve you good for a really long period of time. In terms of quality, the screen is capable enough to produce vibrant visuals with accurate colors, so you shouldn't worry about anything. Finally, the 3400 mAh battery can last around 10 hours of usage, but if you set it under heavy load, then it will drain faster, which is normal. Overall, the Xiaomi Mi Mix 2S is a must-have because it has everything needed to ensure that you will have the best user experience. Thanks for watching, I hope you liked this video. If this video was helpful to you, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this in the future, and if you have any questions related to these Xiaomi phones, you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can.